really excited on this real cozy Friday to have a dear friend with me, Miss Celine Parker. I'll let Celine introduce herself, but she's starting to become one of my friend. What you doing? You want to go? And she usually says yes, friends. So Celine, I'll give it to you.
Okay, well, my passions do include travel and food, and health and wellness. And so last year I launched into the business side of fitness with my LLC, Celine's Making It Personal, because it is still something that's near and dear to me. But I started being a fitness instructor. I was kind of dragged into it 4 years ago. And since then, I've started teaching and taking on other certifications and classes to focus on health and wellness, which is something that I've pretty much been passionate about since I was maybe fifth grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What classes are you teaching?
I teach a rebound fitness workout once a week, which is, if you've ever seen, well, you've taken my class, but for your audience, they're rebound boots. It's like having trampolines on your feet. And they were created for originally for injured athletes, but people wear them that want to protect their joints. And so they take some of the shock off of your knees and your joints. You're able to get in a good workout. The boots weigh about 4.5 pounds each. And so you can jog in them, run in them. But my class is more like, I would describe it as Zumba on boots. And then I also teach a cardio kickboxing class, which is I kicked that off. It's called Kicking It in January. And that was me missing kicking. I do boxing based exercise with my boxercise family, who I've worked out with for about 8 years. But we box, we use the heavy bags and we hit the mitts. But every now and then I would catch myself kicking and I miss kickboxing. So I decided to get certified in kickboxing and I launched my class in January.
It's only been January. It feels like you've been teaching that class for a while.
No, I did a demo in December,
Okay.
and then I officially launched the first or second week, like I think the 8th of January. Yeah.
So what about teaching fitness excites you? Since you're so that's been a big part of how I've known you. Like so what about it like really inspires you to want to do it?
Serving others, I started out doing it as kind of like filling a void. People had invested in these boots and the class looked like it was going to end. So I took it over. I was invited to take over a class and I found that I really got joy doing it and I was good at it. So I continued and it's been 4 years. The classes have gotten smaller, but I don't mind. I like small groups. Um, I like small groups and because you can kind of get to know people's personalities, give them personal attention as well. And so I don't mind teaching a small group. And it's personal to me because I enjoy working out. I never thought I or aspired to be an instructor because fitness classes was a place I could just show up and be told what to do. Because every other aspect of my life I'm working.
Yeah.
But because I love it so much, it doesn't feel like work.
And is that why you chose the name of the company too?
That and my initials is CMP. And so it kind of fit,
Yeah.
my initials. And it is still personal to me. I'm still able to, even though I'm leading classes, I'm always perpetually a student. So as my students progress or the people who take my classes progress, I'm progressing as well. And it pushes me to show up at my best and to get better. So each week, I try to either add something like this. The last couple weeks I've added either a new routine or modified a routine in a way that not only stretches me, but stretches my students. And they appreciate that.
Yeah. You're a really patient instructor.
Oh, thank you.
When I come in there, them boots things, they don't feel like 4 pounds. I'm like, oh, they're about 10 pounds each. Yeah, but you're really patient, so I appreciate that. Especially someone who like just standing up in those things, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well, great.
yeah, and it's a fun class, and the music is fun. I like the bouncing, just the part where you.
Uh huh.
I like,
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of. I always leave that class happy. So
Yeah.
they say it sparks those happy hormones, and so and it's true. I always leave there happy. So that's why I've kept doing it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like like starting class, I'm always worried like, oh, I'm gonna fall. But ending class, I always feel better, and it's like the energy's like woof through the roof.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great.
Yeah, no, that's good. So, in addition to like fitness, you talk, if anyone follows you on social media, you talk a great deal about like mental health and centering yourself. Like, what brought you to that place, like really focusing on like self care?
When I joined social media, I went through a particularly tough period. And so, and I did like a 40-day devotional where I was, reading and really focused every day. And when I was growing up, we read devotionals as a family. And my mother always challenged us to not just answer questions, but regurgitating what we read verbatim. We had to put things in our own words to express that we understood it. And so that was a personal challenge that I gave myself. Like each day, if it was a word of the day, I actually would research that word. I would look up the definition. I would look up, what the Bible says about that word. And then I would challenge myself to write a post. And so that was kind of for me. I started out doing that on Facebook each day. And every now and then people will reach out and say, oh, if I'm going through something or I'm having a particularly tough time, I'll say, let me go look at Celine's post. Or they would tell me, how much my post encouraged them. So it became a thing that I was conscious of daily. Like, even if I don't particularly have anything to say, I would still do a post because I
Mm.
know people look forward to them. And so it's been since what? I'm probably since 2011 that I've been posting almost daily,
No, I
something in the
appreciate it.
morning.
Every morning, like you've got
Yeah.
something good, and it's like, okay, that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. So tell people how we met because it's such a cute story.
It is cute. I was like, we want pizza with a chef. And and it was such a cute because when I the way I met Mr. Foodtastic Jamoke was I took my baby brother to he was doing brunch. It was his any given Sunday brunch. And it felt like it was family style. We sat family style. He was immediately everybody was just so warm and welcoming. And so then every time, I engaged with him, since then, on his posts, and every now and then he would post a contest. And so this time he posted a contest, have pizza with the chef. And so I entered and I won and you won. And
The
and it was
winners.
yes, and a couple other people. There were two other ladies that had their own businesses or did something in their own and but we all in our own way kept in touch with one another. But you and I more so in person ever since then, and it's been really cool. Yeah, that was a fun thing.
It
We
was
have to get
a
together, have a reunion with him.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
I need to. I know. I've never made his biscuit recipe, and I've always been like, oh, I need to make those biscuits because it always sounds like
Hmm.
they're really good.
Yeah, I was supposed to take his biscuit class, and I think one time it got canceled, and another time I could. We never did it. Me and Darren were going to do his class, so maybe we can get together and do that.
Let's do the biscuits.
Yeah.
Let's do the biscuits. No, but yeah. So food,
Food.
and
Yeah.
since then, like we've just been inviting each other stuff, and
Yeah.
I think that's been cool. I know
Yeah.
in DC, at least for me, like making friends is
Mhm.
a weird kind of thing, especially as adults, right? And
Yeah.
like, yeah,
You have to be open to it.
yeah,
I think. And I think I grew up kind of more a loner and then but I feel like I'm more open now, the older I've gotten. And if something sounds interesting to me, I just say yes,
yes, easy.
and go vibe with who I'm with. And we've had fun adventures.
Yeah, yeah. So one of our recent adventures is you came with me on my first big group trip to Paris.
Yes. And it was an event that was a great adventure. Yeah.
I loved seeing how happy you guys were and just how
Hmm.
curious you guys were. So, what was that trip like?
Um, it was fun. I'm an honorary Fisk guide now. Didn't go to Fisk, but it's like I'm going with Kareem because you host really cool, fun events. So that's another reason I'm always optimistic and enthusiastic. Yes, because we did the two for your birthday, the paint and sips, and that was really unique with
Yeah.
the wood canvases. But Paris, um, the way you curated that trip was exciting.
Oh,
Like staying in a hotel where we could see the Eiffel Tower, and you were telling us what to expect, but actually the visual, the physical experience of actually pulling up to our hotel and like the Eiffel Tower's right there, and then going in our room and going out on the balcony and like, oh, it's still right there.
yeah.
And like we're gonna walk over and we're gonna go to the top, and we're having champagne at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Like those little touches were very, very good. And then the tour guide we had, Ife, was
Okay.
phenomenal. He was very prepared, and the historical tidbits and the little nuggets, the stories that he had to tell, they were and and he was my photographer. Like he knew how to get the angles and use all the phone effects. So it was just a good experience, and everybody was so friendly. We felt like a family.
A big family.
Yeah, yeah, big family. I know
Yeah.
you were like, "Oh, it keeps growing, but we're gonna do it. Let me figure this out."
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you came, and we were roommates, so that was cool
Hmm.
too. So thanks for
Yeah.
meeting me. But in my getting to know you, you've traveled a lot. Like, share with people some of the places you've been.
Oh God. Just last year, where did I start? I went to Colombia, Bali after Paris. It was like 6 trips. St. Lucia. Yeah, it was quite a few trips.
Yeah.
The group that I went to Bali with, we also went to Costa Rica the year before. Um, hmm, yeah, it's been a lot. Thailand. I went there with that was a trip where I actually flew to meet someone alone, um, for an entire day, and that was cool. Uh, we had some smaller trips in between there. We just went to South Carolina to Charleston and did kind of a Black History tour, like we did on a smaller scale than Paris. And then family, we went to Nashville together, and I was just telling you about that. And because my family we like to travel, but we also like to have some kind of education aspect behind our travel, in a mix of fun and education.
Yeah. So you travel a lot, and I travel a lot.
Hmm.
What does it do for you? Like, how has it changed your perspective? Has it changed your perspective?
It does. I feel like every time I travel, it broadens my worldview, and it also increases my choice horizon.
Mm.
Things that whether it's people I meet, I'm always exposed to things I didn't wouldn't think of before on my own, or just stuff, things about culture that when you approach it with an open mind, it's fascinating to see how other people live and how they do things, how they value the natural things in their environment, how they worship, how they deal with family. All of those things are fascinating to me, and I've always been interested, like in other places and other cultures. And a lot of times I get there through books,
Mm.
but then to actually physically go and see. Like I just remember my reaction. Remember the Oprah Book Club? Like almost a lot of historical fiction and a lot of the books were based in New Orleans. And so when the first time I actually got to go to New Orleans, I'm like bouncing up and down in the cab, like at the sights and seeing things. So just stuff like that, things coming off of the page and being real and being alive is always exciting to me.
What other books have you read that then correlate to a trip that you take? That's a nice way to bring your imagination to life.
Okay, well, there's just the last trip that we went on. being in Charleston, a couple of us read Trouble the Water, which was about a historical figure. It was historical fiction, kind of based on the life of his last name is Smalls. Well, that's the last name he took on. I can't think of his first. Maybe it was Robert
Okay.
Smalls, and he went from slavery to being a congressman. And so, but the book was more about his
Oh,
life,
okay. Yeah. I think
or
that is
what
probably his
the
mouth. Yep.
yes, what the author imagined his life being, from being a enslaved person, up to dealing with the when he navigated that ship and gave and turned it over to the Union Army, and then the things that happened subsequent to that, like him meeting Abraham Lincoln and him going to Congress, and actually him purchasing the house where he grew up enslaved, um, and living there as an adult. And so that was one that was pretty interesting to be in that area and to go to an actual plantation and hear the history of it. That was one book that went. And I'm trying to think if there's something else that I can think of offhand. The Feast of All Saints was really like very impactful about New Orleans as a city, and the quadroon balls and the plissage, as a, learning about that, and then actually being there and seeing the French Quarter. Trying to think of something else. Hmm. Drawing a blank right now.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And maybe I'll find a book for our next trip just so that we can have
Hmm.
some cultural things. That's a good way to also prepare people for the location and create excitement. I like that. That's really
Yeah.
smart. That's really smart. So, with all the trips that you're taking, has travel been something that you've always done, or is it just something like when did it start really becoming a thing for you?
The travel something I've always done.
Yeah.
When we were kids, it was more beach vacation where we go on our summer vacation. But then I think my first big international trip, I was maybe 19, and I went to Hungary. And then we were on buses and we went to Austria and Germany. And so that was at 19, and I really enjoyed that. I still have my scrapbook and my photo album from that. And then when I was 24, I ran my first marathon. And
What?
that was that was in Ireland. So I had to raise money for the Arthritis Foundation. It
Okay.
was just, and that was another time when I was like, I need something, and I always wanted to run. And I got this letter in the mail, and it was like, if you come to this meeting, we'll train you for the marathon. And so I was like, I'm gonna go check this out, and I did it. So I had to do fundraising, which is not, my forte, like asking people for money. So I had to do fundraising. And then, I had to run every weekend. We had running coaches. And yeah, we went to Ireland, and that was a great experience. So
Was it hilly?
it's not hilly. It was pretty flat.
Okay.
The most changed, it was the neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
So like and it was a holiday, so there weren't many people out. And so it's not like when you go to Marine Corps Marathon, it's the People's Marathon, everybody's out and everybody's cheering. And I've done that one twice, but Ireland, it was just you. For a lot of the miles, it was just me running. And we had support along the trail and things. And I met some really cool people and made, good friends doing that.
You're so
Yeah.
fascinating. That's so cool. Three marathons. Wow.
Yeah, 3 marathons. The last one was on my 35th birthday.
Okay.
Because the Marine Corps is always in October.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was actually that day. So it was kind of cool to wear on my back that it was my birthday. And people
Yeah.
would sing to me along the trail. And they're like, "Is it really your birthday today?" I was like, "Yep, it's today." And yeah, so that was fun. And I was particularly proud of that one because I trained myself.
Yeah.
Like I trained by myself and planned out my training. So I was pretty proud of that.
I'm proud of you. That's three. Shucks. I got this half marathon that
Uh
I
huh.
do, and I need to push past that and get to?
Well, halves are harder to me
You think so?
than the full. They
Okay.
are. I feel like they always. I don't know why they throw in more hills and more weird trips terrain, but I've always felt like the halves are harder.
Mm.
And maybe a mental thing, but yeah.
That's a really important. Wow, the halves are harder. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, I think so.
because for me, like, well, I did the rock and roll. I've only
Hmm.
done it here in DC, and then I did one in Nashville. And
Okay.
going through Rock Creek Park is the worst.
Hmm.
But it feels fun. It's always fun to know they don't do it as the route is not as expansive as it used to be. We used to go through all parts of DC, all four.
Hmm.
I don't think we touch them all now. I think we
Okay. It's been a few years. I did that one once. Yeah. I did the blossom 10 miler
yeah.
a few years in a row, like maybe 4 or 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really impressive. You're always like every time I learn something about you, I'm like, what? That's so cool. So, what would you tell someone who is afraid to travel? Like, we get up and go and we just stamp them passports, but there's some people who want to but are apprehensive. Like, what would you tell them?
Just like they approach anything that they're afraid to do it afraid. If you're afraid, it's okay to be afraid, but the reward is usually greater than your fear, and whatever you are afraid of, it probably isn't worth, missing out on a great trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always like on Facebook. I'm in a few like travel groups, and there's always a
Hmm.
few people who are like, "Oh, I want to travel more." And there's maybe with social media like a voyeuristic quality where people say they want to do something, but
And
they
then they
really
don't.
aren't going to, and it's just they want
Hmm.
to say that they're gonna do it, and then
Like the
people.
people that tell me all the time they're coming to my class.
True, touche. Yeah, like people have a lot. It's like it's aspirational to a point, but it's not
Hmm.
like I think maybe we underestimate just how brave we really are, you know?
Maybe that's it. Because I just go.
Yeah.
People say, "Well, how do you?" I'm like, "You just go." I really haven't had any a travel experience that's been like awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't, like every trip I've gone on is there's been some value to it. There are some places that I don't necessarily have to go back.
So where's a
I
place
don't
you
like to.
wouldn't go back?
St. Lucia was okay. It was beautiful. I don't necessarily have to go back there. Yes, like yeah, I don't necessarily. LA, I did not like LA. Don't necessarily have to go back there.
What was bad about LA?
It was just disappointing.
Okay.
How you see places you see, and then when you get there and you're like, that's it. It just didn't live up to. You see it on TV and you see it in these scenes, and it was just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it may just been the place I was in my life at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
hit some of the key spots, and saw the sights, but I don't necessarily have to go back there.
Okay. Got it.
And because, well, and then now I'm in a place in my life where I love nature. And so I love to see, you know, is there a hike involved? Or, what are we going to see that's natural? What natural resources are here? One thing I loved, we went to Antigua and Barbuda in November and December, early part of December. And on the tour, like the tour guide reached out and pulled, leaves off the bush and like, smell this, what is that? Do you recognize this herb or this spice? And telling, what they use that for. And, if this is indigenous to this area. And, same thing when we were in Bali, we went to a natural medicine and herbal class,
Mm.
and we went to the farm where they grew things naturally, and then we made natural body scrubs and oils and even teas. And that's my thing now. Like, I love that type of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think there's anything like that in LA.
Mm.
Now, I did enjoy Napa in San Francisco.
You
I
did the
didn't.
Napa wine tour?
Yeah, well, we went and we did. My cousin planned this We stayed in an Airbnb and we had a driver come each day, and we did 3 wineries each day.
Wow.
And then, we went to there's a cooking school. I don't remember the name of it, but we had dinner there that was made by the students.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, a tasting meal. There's a popular, I can't think of the name, but there's a popular culinary school there, and they had a tasting dinner. Just the landscaping, like I went out in the neighborhood and I would just walk.
Mm-hmm.
And when I woke up in the morning, I look out the window, I saw hot air balloons. Like those things, type of things are exciting. I love views and sunsets and sunrises. So,
So picturesque. Well, speaking of, like, as you talk about that, I'm really excited that you're coming with me to Iceland because we get to
hmm
experience some weird and cool things.
yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
thank
Yeah,
you for being brave to come
I
along.
mentioned Iceland to people, and they said, "Oh, I don't never thought about that." And now they're going to keep saying it because their
Hmm.
algorithms been shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what, like, when as you talk about nature, what about that trip was like? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go.
the Iceland trip. It was just on my list, and I see, I love waterfalls, and I love, and then they got the black sand beach, and just seeing those things. Not necessarily excited about cold, but you take things as they come,
Yeah.
and so I am excited to see in that part of the world. I always want to go, um, and see new places and experience new places and cultures. So I'm excited.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you
Yeah.
planning it. I'm gonna book your flight. So that's I'm
That's
doing
coming
that.
soon. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. And the group should be good. It's gonna right now it's five, and hopefully,
Okay.
there's still
It'll
time
grow.
it
Yeah.
can grow because it's not until August. So, more
Right.
people can join. Yeah. Where else do you want to go? What else? You say you have a list. What's on your list?
I want to see more of Africa.
Ooh.
So I do want to see. We are planning to go to Egypt this year.
That would be nice.
That wasn't on my list, but I really enjoyed the group that I went to Colombia with.
Mm-hmm.
And they had planned, I wanted to go to Turkey, but nobody signed up.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, well, you should come with us to Egypt. You'll really love it. So I'm like, okay. So, but I would like to see more of the East Coast of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to South Africa. I haven't been to the West yet, but I do want to. I'm more curious about like Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
but yeah,
sounds
just
cool too.
mm-hmm. Because you went to Liberia and that sounded fascinating.
Yeah, I think I want
Hmm.
to plan a trip there because
Okay.
it's very. I think it's like that next place, and there's such a strong American connection to Liberia. Like, it was founded by, well, some, like, of course, some white people who wanted to take some black people from America. So it was kind of like one of those kind of things. So the founders were from America, the folks that first went over. So there's strong connection there. But like culturally, it was really fascinating. And I think as the country becomes more stable, because they've come out of like a civil war maybe 20 years or so ago, there's just a lot of. We lost you. That's cool. You're back.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's just opportunity because everyone wants to go to Ghana, everyone wants to go to Nigeria, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Liberia, if the tourism comes together, could be a really cool place. Maybe that'll be my next trip. Let me think about that. Maybe.
Because we're going to Brazil um in July.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to Brazil in July.
Okay. You got like trips back. You got a monthly thing. That
Not as
PTO, that
crazy
be
as last. Like I can't even remember all the places I went last year. That's because I did so much traveling last year.
yeah.
But yeah, so but I sent you. I think I sent it to you today. I see stuff and I send, and that's another thing I love about you is when I send you stuff that you like really take it seriously. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna try to go to this place because
Yeah.
like when we were in Paris, we
Yep.
definitely did some of the stuff that I saw, you were like, "Well, let's go find it." Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's go.
Yeah,
Like, cause what is it? You had sent me
the barbecue spot.
barbecue spot. Even
Yeah,
the Cameroonian place was on the list
yeah.
of from that article from Travel Noir. Yep.
And that was phenomenal. That was one of my goodness. That was like one of my favorite things of the trip. That was phenomenal.
So the funny part is, so just to tell the story to everyone,
Huh?
we shared the idea of going to that like the first day, and 10 people were like, "Yeah, we want to go." And so the day of, only 6 of us went, but the reservation was for
Was for
10.
10.
And so
Yeah.
when we show up, you can explain what happened when we showed up.
They were not, because it was a cozy neighborhood
Yeah,
restaurant. And
yeah,
so you could imagine they thought they set a table for 10. They were waiting for the other four to show up. And we probably waited at least an
at
hour.
least an
And we
hour.
were like, what's going on? And they're like, you really aren't going to have four more people? And we were like, no. They were livid, but they were so hospitable.
Yeah,
And they reserved their, anger until the end. Like, you all are really going to hang around? Because they could have had four, seated four
for
more
more
people,
seats.
but they were very gracious to
Yeah.
us.
We were like, wow, what are they gonna serve us?
Yeah.
And they were like, so when are your other people coming?
Right. They're like, we're not going to serve you.
But the food was so curious. Like
Yes.
I've never had a tasting like that before, where everything tasted like something I've never had before.
Yes.
The flavors, the palate, like everything
Yeah.
was like,
The
yeah,
presentation. And then they showed us the actual spices
yeah,
for each tasting,
yeah.
each part of the taste. It was so fascinating. And I'm glad that they were so gracious to us because that was my favorite part of, like, one of my favorite parts of the trip. Like, that was absolutely great.
Yeah. And every time you send me something, I was like, well, let me look and see what Celine's sending. And like, how do I build that in? Because,
Uh-huh.
I think that's a part too of curating. Everyone
Hmm.
has, some people are just going along for the experience.
Right.
Whatever you plan is fine. And then some people like yourself are just going to take it a step further and be inspired by something. And it's like, well, how do I bring that into the
Incorporated.
experience so that,
Yeah.
your little bucket list can be checked off, and then other people,
Yeah.
can experience that
Come
too.
along.
So that was
And I
really
really appreciated that because I'm just sharing. I'm a
yeah,
sharer. It's my personality. And I think that's your personality too, with plans being your love language. Like, you want to take us with you.
yeah, yeah,
And you want us to have an enjoyable time. I think it helps you enjoy the trip that much more that we enjoy it through your lens. And yeah, so I really appreciate that. So I did send you to, it was probably today, Lisbon, Portugal.
oh yeah.
That
I've
looked
not
interesting.
been to Portugal.
Yeah, I've
What
seen
do you
some
know there?
interesting things. There's even this island off of Portugal that people rave about that they call it the Hawaii of Europe or something like that. So I see stuff and I'll share it and I'm like, and you take me seriously. So
I take you seriously, child. I sure do. Why not? Like, because I know you have a broad perspective.
hmm.
You're cultured. You
Oh, thank you.
read. You
Hmm.
you you're so attentive. Like, I've just noticed
Hmm.
that you're very attentive. So it's like, yeah, if Celine suggests it, that's how. So for the Iceland trip, we're going to the Silica Hotel because you sent that to me, and I was like, what? We could do
Uh-huh.
that?
Yes. Like, we can have nice
That's
things.
what I said. I said,
That's
we
what
can have nice
we
things.
said. Put it in a budget.
We can have nice things.
Like, even if we get a day pass, like, let's
Yeah.
let's
No,
go
we
walk
spending the
around.
night. We
Yeah,
spending
okay.
the
I
night.
did. Hey, I would have been happy with a day pass, but we gonna spend the night.
We spending the night. Yeah.
Because when
So,
when we were in Bali, we stayed at one place, which was nice. It was a garden style place, hotel. And but we went to do our actual workshops. It was very upscale, beautiful place. And so it's like, even for the day to just see, that luxury and that style, it's like we got to walk through and experience it and be in that space. So yeah, absolutely.
What do you like for me as a trip planner
Mm-hmm.
and then just also as an older person? I'm in my 40s.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Is
in my
luxury
50s.
I don't believe that. No one believes
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I'll
Is
be 54.
luxury and ease and like quality like really really important to you like when you travel?
But yes, with the right price point, I don't feel like I do feel like that's important to see the nice things.
Mhm.
It can be a balance,
Mhm.
of things, but I do feel like if there is it doesn't need to be opulence as far as like name brands, and like I'm not really like going to Louis Vuitton was nice, but that's not my thing, but
Mhm.
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun experience because shopping isn't my thing, but actually like spa services and pampering and all of that. Yes, that's my thing.
Mhm. Good.
When me and my sister-in-law went to Thailand, we island hopped, and one of her girlfriends, I hugged her because I would have never heard of the hotel we stayed in had not been for her. And she chose it. And we had a doorbell and we had a pillow menu and the turn down. So it was like we were in an executive suite. I don't know how much anything cost, but I was like, and then I saw that place on a TV show. It was espionage or something like that. And the opening scene, I was like, I stayed at that hotel, and it's like really, really cool, just to see and experience pampering and service like that. Even when I stayed in Bali, I got the hair wash treatment and the massage and everything. And it was very affordable, but but to me, it was just luxury, like that kind of care. The fresh juices and the greeting with the warm towels and the tea and all of that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I know one thing um on my personal vision board was
Mm-hmm.
like really helping black women specifically like
Mm-hmm.
have quality experiences and like encouraging rest, and
Yeah.
I think some trips can tire you, some trips can
Mm-hmm.
give you rest. Like, is that important to you too?
I think it's important to have a balance
Yeah.
of adventure. It's nice to go on excursions and try something new, but it's also good to have downtime. And
Yeah.
I like when there's a good balance, and that's important to me. Like we went. I'm trying to think. There was a trip I went on when I went to Dubai. We had excursions, but we also had large chunks of free time.
Mhm.
And I think we had that in Paris as well. Like we had chunks of free time where if you chose to go back to your room and relax, you could. But
Mhm.
if you chose to go see some other site or go, some to a eatery or space, like that morning we got up and we went over, was it the Trocadero?
Mhm.
You had those spaces where you could go where you chose to. We had
Mhm.
that in Bali this last time too. So I think I really like trips that have a balance. And when you look at the itinerary, it's like, oh, you're going to spend a whole day doing this, but on the next day, you don't go anywhere till noon or the evening.
Mhm.
So you can kind of gauge, like if you wanted to throw in a personal treatment or self-care or go to the spa or something else, you have these windows of time that you could have these personal experiences versus experiences with the group.
Mhm. And I know, like with the Paris trip, no one wanted to leave, and that was so cute. I love that.
Hmm.
Like, can we do one more day? So
Right.
yeah. And
Yeah.
with the Iceland trip, like the last day and a half will just be at the Blue Lagoon,
Okay.
and you'll have so because we're staying there, we get premium access to
Okay.
the actual Blue Lagoon, but then there's a private lagoon that only people who are
People to
staying
stay can
get
go.
access to. So we'll be
Nice.
able to do that. And then, so like how you were saying, if you
Hmm.
wanted to schedule and do treatments, you can do that. Like, so the last day and a half is really just going to be like winding down and really like being intensely in that experience.
Hmm.
We're starting at the Sky Lagoon, the other like
Okay.
comparable one. And
Mm-hmm.
so we'll just be spending like 3, 4 hours there the first thing morning.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to, build in some down and then some walking and lots of nature.
Yeah.
So I'm really, I listen to you, child. So you'll be
That's
able to get
exciting. Yeah.
some good sprinkles of stuff there. Yeah, yeah, because it's such a curious place, man. And I think that's kind of because I like to because when I went in 2023, I was like, I want to bring a group here, and
Mm-hmm.
now this is me. Same thing with Paris. I went
Yeah.
before. I was like, I want to bring a group here. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a
That's
whole thing. Yeah, so I'm excited to have it, and we're still early in the year, so what it's February to be in August, so it's a good 7 months from now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
not.
have time to find a cool, fun book
Yeah,
about Iceland. I'll start
yeah.
looking into that.
Okay, let's find a
Yeah.
book, and then we can
Yeah.
read that to prep for that. And I'll see if I can find a book about Montreal too, because that's another city.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to read more anyway, so thank you.
Mm,
But yeah, I really enjoy traveling with you. I really enjoy learning from you. Like you really center yourself in a good way.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I mentioned in a post the other day when I used to take Taibo and I used to take my daughter with me. And I told the instructor, I didn't have a sitter. Like I didn't have sometimes I didn't have time someone to watch her. And she said, bring her. She
Hmm.
said, absolutely bring her because she needs to see you take care of yourself. And
Hmm.
that was a message that really stuck with me. She's learning how to take care of herself by the way I take care of myself. So it's not selfish. It's something I'm doing for her too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of thinking about my mom, about my friends who are parents. I don't know that
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a parent, but I
Mm-hmm.
parented my sister.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
like I feel like we don't know how to do that. Like
Yeah.
we feel guilty
You
about it.
do feel guilty, and I do feel that sometimes. So, and in those moments, it's like I do show up. I have to validate myself, but also press that guilt down. It's like, no, I need to do this for me.
Yeah,
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 because
and
we do
really, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
because we do so much for everyone else.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when we do it for ourselves, it makes us that much more able to help other people because we've
Mm-hmm.
poured into ourselves. We've serviced. We've
Mm-hmm.
invest in ourselves in that way, in that time, and that sleep, and that exploration or whatever. So, because I've
Exactly.
never come back from a trip like exhausted. I've come back excited about whatever the next thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I need
Great.
to plan a trip to Liberia. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'll take it. I'll be listening. I'll be listening. Yeah. But yeah, I
And I
just
love your aspect of ecotourism.
mm,
Because I try.
yeah.
I try to save the planet, but from your level of expertise, I love seeing you do that, and I'm like, wow, that's a cool place. And so I look at places through that lens as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I think we've covered some good stuff. So for this year, it's still early. It's only
Mhm.
February 6th.
Is
What
it? It's been a long year.
It's been a long year, child. What would you like anyone who's listening who has a bucket list but they aren't sure and they don't, I want to travel, but there's still time. Like what are some tips that you would give someone right now just to embrace travel or, around their health? Like what would you suggest for people to do?
I'm a firm believer if there's something that's on your heart and it keeps coming up, that you need to look at ways to make it happen. Put yourself out there, even if it's going you're going by yourself, but you will find your people on that journey as you go. And I can truly attest to that I've made really good friends in every aspect of life that I'm passionate about. So go on and plan the trip. If you see a trip and you want to go on it, most trips now they allow you to do payment plans, put it in your budget. One of my girlfriends said that she's going with me to Brazil. She said, so how do you pay for this? I said, I break it down to when I have to The last payment is due, and that's how much I have to pay every month. And she said, "Oh, like a bill." I said, "Yep." And this one is paying me because that's something I want to do.
That's a good way to look at it. You're paying yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And then if someone has health and fitness goals, what would you, it's still early. It's only February. How would you help them or suggest they
I
do?
like what you're doing. You are modeling doing different things. And of the things you do, you'll have favorites. You'll have things that you're doing because it serves you well, and you'll have things that you do because you'll enjoy. But just like even with eating healthy, you know what you're going to eat. Find ways to make what you're eating healthier. You don't have to go to extremes because extremes aren't sustainable.
Hmm.
You know, if you find a fitness class you like, you find a trainer that is a good fit for you, you'll look forward to doing that with them or getting together with them. If it's a workout that you enjoy, you'll look forward to going and doing it, and you'll be consistent. And if you tailor your diet based on things that you love, I used to subscribe to Self magazine when I was younger, and there was a writer, I think her name was Evelyn Trebol, I think. She would make her recipes healthier. If you love, let's just say, mac and cheese, she would replace things in that recipe, and she's like, exchange this for that, and ways to make things that you're going to eat anyway, ways to make it healthier so you don't feel like you're depriving yourself.
Mm.
And in that, don't deprive yourself. Don't look at these things as punishments. You're making deposits in your future self for being healthy and feeling better. And because that's my goal. When I say Celine's making it personal, my goal is to feel good in my body, which is my home, for as long as I can. So I try to take the best care of it now so that in the event of the inevitable decline, I'll be prepared for it. That my body will be able to put up a more of a fight than if I don't take care of myself along the way.
Hmm. So if people are in the DMV area and they want
hmm
to come to your class, where should they come? Where should they find you? What's your schedule?
I am at Spin Therapy Studio on Mondays and Thursdays. My class, we get there at 6:45, and we usually start about 7. And the class is about 50 minutes to an hour. You need boots for class on Monday. You need the rebound boots. And I do have limited rentals. So I just need to know people's weight and shoe size to see if I have the boot that is a good fit for them. But you don't need any equipment for kickboxing. For cardio kickboxing, you just bring your water and your towel. That studio is located in Capitol Heights, Maryland. And then they can follow me on Instagram. It's Celine's Making It Personal, or you can look up Celine Parker. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, and now I'm on TikTok. I just joined TikTok. Celine's Making It Personal.
Uh, well, Celine, thank you for your time on a
Thank you, Kareem.
Friday.
No,
I look forward to coming to your class. I got the monthly pack, and
yeah.
my knees don't feel bad. So thank you, because I'm trying to take better care of my knees. But
hmm
thanks for joining my podcast, Plans of My Love Language, and I'll see you in Iceland.
All right.
Okay.
See you soon.